Hey there, my name is Sam. I am a photographer with 12 years experience in the industry, and I am also an online educator. I help photographers like you understand and focus on business. On today's video, I really want to focus on the simple steps you need to take in order to get a successful business. A lot of the times people focus on the wrong things. Maybe they're focusing on the equipment, building a portfolio, growing on Instagram, and those things aren't necessarily going to get you a successful business. So let's get started. The very first thing you need to think about when you're building a business is to build your experience, to build your knowledge, and to build your portfolio. The good thing about this is that you can do all things at the same time. It is important that you understand your equipment, that you understand the tools that you use to deliver your services as best as you can. Now, I'm not saying that you need to know everything there is to know about photography. Nobody does, but you do need to know the basics. You need to understand what exposure is. You need to understand what focusing system is. And you need to understand how to find the systems and how to control them in your camera. If you're able to do that, understanding lighting, understanding lenses, understanding basic skills of directing people, then you have the foundations to get started. The best way to practice this is shooting. Grab your manual, grab a YouTube video, and understand what these things are, and just practice. You should be using your camera every single day to practice your skills. What does it take to build your skills, and how many of them do you need to know? Like, how far into your photography knowledge do you need to be at a level where you can be professional? I don't think there is a hard line on that. I don't think that like you need to have a certain amount of months or a certain amount of years of experience to be able to start charging. I think actually we charge for much more than just the skills and the time that we put in. Whole other video that I'll be recording for you in the future. But for the time being, I want you to understand that what you really need is a bare minimum. You need to understand the basics. All of this is going to take time. I challenge you to enjoy the process, and while you're doing that, exploring and see what kind of photography you like. If you have gotten this far, if this is something that you've already done, you feel like you got your skills, you take good photos, you've done some shoots here and there, people love the work that you do, and you're still figuring out how to turn into a business, good news, you got step down covered. Let's move on to the next. As you're working through building your skills, building your confidence, and building your portfolio, the very next thing you want to do when you're building a photography business is figuring out the business part. So we got the photography cover, we're gonna cover the business. What is it like to have a business? Well, the very first thing is understanding that you don't have a business unless you have clients. And in order to have clients, you have to have a service to offer to your clients, and that service is going to have a price point. That brings me to step number 2, which is figuring out who your client is, figuring out what kind of services you want to offer, and figuring out the price point of that. Now, this might seem like a huge undertaking, and it can seem a really daunting task for a lot of beginner photographers. How do you figure out your pricing if you are just starting out, if you're not good at everybody else, if you don't feel confident, if you don't have the experience? I'm going to give you a couple of tools to really understand how to do that. I'm also going to be putting together a video exclusively on figuring out prices and packages for photographers. But for now, the very first thing you want to do is a little bit of market research. You want to look around other photographers in your area, in your niche, that are doing their services already. You want to know what they're charging, how many photos they're giving, and what they're putting out there. Then you can build your price list with something comparable. Of course, if you are a much more inexperienced photographer, you want to make your rates a little bit more competitive. You want to give people a chance, want to hire you, want to give them a reason, which sometimes that can be having a tempting price. Sometimes that can be having a price that is a little bit more accessible than others. This is going to open you up to what I would say a lower level of clientele. It might not be your top client and your high-paying clients yet, but it's going to allow you to continue growing your skills, continue growing your portfolio, continue growing your confidence and experience, and make a little bit of money on the side. As you do this, you're going to start understanding how long it takes you to edit photos, how many photos you want to give people. It's going to help you understand what people like to receive, what their expectations are, and it's going to help you practice the process of going from zero to paid clients. I would say that's step number 2, figuring out who your niche is, or who your client is, or what kind of work you want to do, what kind of service you can offer them, and what is the price for that. I would say the third step is the step that most photographers want to skip, and the one that creates the most stress, and that is registering your business legally. Before you get all crazy, pause this video, exit, go look for something else. I'm going to tell you why this is such an important step. step. Not only because if you want to be seen as a business, you should be a business. It is also going to change your mindset. It's going to change the way you approach business. It's going to change the way you ask to get paid. It's going to change the way you present yourself to the world. When you decide you are a business, when you decide you're a professional, when you decide that this is what you do for a living, you no longer can afford to do work for free. You no longer can afford to lower your rate. You no longer can afford to say, well, whatever, I'll just do this. It's better than nothing. When you start paying taxes, when you start recording your income, when you start creating a whole environment around you about being a professional photographer, you're going to start becoming this professional photographer. You're going to start feeling like a professional photographer, and you're going to start demanding the kind of relationship you want with a client as a professional. Another huge takeaway of registering your business officially and professionally is, of course, deductibles. When you are a legal photography business, literally everything is a deductible. Your camera's a deductible, your lenses are a deductible, your computer, your cell phone, anything you buy on Amazon, okay, not anything, but anything that could be considered an office supply, your mileage and your petrol, your day-to-day expenses. If you work from home, some of your home expenses can become a deductible. Needless to say, if you're renting equipment, if you hire in second shooters, and anything you can think of, including, in my case, a lot of my travel expenses can be deducted from your business, which means you are actually going to be saving money in the long run. So for those of you who feel like they're not quite ready to register a business, they're scared of doing this, they think they're going to be losing money, trust me, registering your business and setting it up legally is the best thing you can do for yourself and for your business. Fourth and last step is, probably guessed it, marketing. Because you can be the best photographer in the world, but if nobody knows you exist, you don't have a business. Marketing is what bridges you, your creativity, your passion, what you do, and your ideal clients. Marketing is what's gonna get you in front of the right people, is what's gonna get you booked, is what's gonna get you discovered. So once you have everything else in place, this is where you want to be spending your time. And marketing can look like anything from putting out ads to showing up and volunteering at events to be seen in your community, to reaching out to local businesses and offering your services, to using social media and everything in between. I'm going to be also showing you a video that shows exactly what marketing is and how to go about it without spending any money. But for now, just understand that the goal of marketing is to get seen, get known, and for your potential clients to get familiar with you, to like you, and to want to hire you. So the marketing process looks something like this. 1, you want your clients to know you exist. 2, you want your clients to like you. 3, you want your clients to trust you. 4, you want your clients to consider you. And 5, of course, you want clients to hire you. That's when the next part of your business comes in, which is understanding your workflow. What does it look like from client inquiry to booking, deposit, contract, actual shoot, and delivering of images? But I feel like we'll leave that one for the next time. If you like this video, if you want me to go more in depth in any of these topics, if you want to continue learning with me, I'll leave you some links at the description below, and link me in the comments anything else you want to know. I would love to record that for you and help you grow your photography business. That's everything for today. See you guys next time.